Okay, so if you wouldn't mind sharing your names and tell us about your company, tell us about Farmington.
So I'm Kristin Johnson, and this is my husband Shawn, and we are with Independence Capital Property Management in Farmington, New Mexico. We we manage about 450 to 500 doors. We're one of the largest, fastest growing property management companies in our area. Um, we've been in business for 5 years and have pretty much grown organically over that time. We did do one portfolio purchase, but specialize in single family, some multifamily, and a little bit of commercial property management.
Okay, and how did you feel about your fees and what you were charging before you did the changes? And how were you stacked against your competitors?
When we first started working with Darren, we were the typical management company. We charged what the guy down the street charged, and we didn't. There was no differentiation, if you will, in fees. We competed on other fronts, so we knew that there was probably a lot that we were leaving on the table, just because we provided far superior service, but we continued to charge what everybody else in town was charging.
Yeah. Okay. And when the suggestion was made that you could be getting better fees, certainly more ancillary fees, and that suggestion was made, we had a conversation. I would have done a fee analysis and run those numbers. After that conversation, how are you feeling when you were confronted with what you could be doing?
Like, holy crap, we were leaving a lot on the table. It was kind of shocking, to not really grasp what else was out there, and there's a lot of fees that are warranted by service that we weren't even encapsulating into our business. So,
and perhaps did you have any reservations?
Sure, yeah, you always have reservations. I think when you are in a marketplace that people are price sensitive, and in most cases, and but I think at the end of the day, we come to the conclusion that service trumps price, and if you're giving good service, that you truly are adding value more than a cost to them. So that there was reservations. I won't lie about that for sure. There definitely was, but we definitely got over that with being able to add value to our clients, and that's what we ultimately want anyway. So
what sort of fears perhaps did your team express, or what reservations perhaps did your team express when they were told in a way what was going to be happening?
Yeah, we implemented additional monthly fees, like an admin fee every month. And we switched from being just a flat percentage based firm to adding in a leasing fee and a renewal fee, and then a ton of ancillary once-off type fees. And the majority of our staff, I think, trusted in us and trusted in the process a lot, but we did have some that had a hard time wrapping their minds around it, and maybe necessarily didn't believe in themselves that they were worth it. And so that was kind of a challenge, but doing some of the mindset training and things like that, and overcoming it. And there were certainly days where we had to have some meetings with each other where it was like, no, we can do this, where one of us was maybe questioning it, but the other was, no, we're committed to this and we're going to make it happen.
Okay. So when the fees did go out, the owners were notified with letters. What was the reaction from your clients, and what were some of the surprises, good and bad, that you experienced?
Yeah, I think it was actually surprising to us. In general, the ones that we thought, oh, they're never going to take this, had no problems with it. And then a few that we thought would have no problems with this did have a problem. But in most cases, when you have a relationship anyway, you could work through them, and it was very minimal. I think our first round of letters, we only lost 12 clients. So it was tiny, really in the whole scheme of things, it's really pretty small percentage. So
with those clients that you lost, how many of those were perhaps poor performers, very low income generator, high time consuming type clients, as in possibly bad business, how many of those would, out of that 12, would have been perhaps like that?
I would say probably 80%.
Oh,
It's
at
the
least.
80-20 rule
Yeah.
really kind of worked in there. So
Well, and it was kind of interesting because even the ones that we thought, oh, it's going to hurt to lose this owner, looking back on it, a month after the loss, it was like, wow, that owner really was not a good fit for us. And it was kind of a cleansing process, if you will. So it wasn't, I don't think that any of it was necessarily bad. I think it helped us weed out the business that we didn't want in our business.
yeah, it might sting at first, but
Yes. So what was the income whole loss like for you, that financial loss?
There was no loss.
No loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
No financial loss at all.
we went from running about 620 doors, and over the course of that first year, that initial year, we lost and or fired about 120 of them. But our revenue and our income
Has always increased.
So we've had less headache and better outcome from it.
Yeah.
So it's been rewarding.
Yeah.
So through this journey now, have you developed a better mindset? And perhaps can you, how has your mindset changed now towards your business?
Yeah, sure. We look at each individual property as is it a profit center or is it going to be a profit loss? We don't want to take on properties that cost us money. It's just doesn't do anybody any good for that. And we certainly then look at properties if it's a stressor to our staff. That's another reason to not take on a property. Owners that don't maintain properties is things to avoid. So yeah, I think our mindset did change. We weren't a typical company that brought on anything before, but it solidified the reason not to. And we got more strict with the criteria that needed to be met for us to bring on a door. So
I think it set good expectations for our staff as well, because part of the training was to go through and classify what type of a property we wanted to manage, what the minimum rent criteria was, distance from our office, what we were looking for as far as a property and an owner was concerned. And I think setting that guideline out for our staff was a little bit liberating for them as far as what we were bringing on, but also what we wanted to continue to manage, and kind of figuring out, let's make a list of our C-class owners or our C-class properties and find ways to replace them for better properties, better performing properties. So.
Sure.
Okay. So what are some of your numbers? Tell us perhaps, your numbers in improving, financially. What have your results been in a numbers point of view?
yeah, so we've gained a 15% increase in revenue. And I think what is averaging about $9,000 a month in increased revenues per month. So per month,
Yeah.
so that's
On less properties.
and less properties. So
Yeah.
it's substantial. I don't know that most people grasp that number, but that's a big number. It's $100,000 a year. So
Okay.
I'm very happy with it.
The last question: what would you have to say to that business owner there that's contemplating putting up their fees, either increasing some fees or adding some extra ancillary fees? They're fearful about the process. They're scared because they've got the discounter down the road, or they believe that owners, are fee dominant, or they're going to lose a lot of business to their cheaper competitors down the road. What would you say to those people right now, you having come out the other side?
I would say that fear is a liar, and that I truly believe people would rather have value than price. There are those people that want price, but that's okay. They're not a fit for you or for us. They weren't for us, and I would say that I would confidently say that we haven't lost any growth because of it. We don't have a reputation in town of being a ripoff, or they're just trying to nickel and dime us. It's a fear that we have that you have to overcome, and you can overcome it. And it's as simple as that, I think. It's a mindset issue. So.
Well, I just want to say it's an absolute pleasure to be working with you both. I will severely, miss our time that we've had together. But look, friends continue.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I've, gained so much out of this and so much inspiration working with you guys. So I just want to say thank you.
It has been our pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, one thing to note is that we could not have done it without somebody there to help us along the way, because there's hang-ups. You know, there's times that you struggle with, can we continue with this? You know, we did, you know, it does sting to lose an odor sometimes. You think, oh crap, you know, but you persevere through it, and you were always a phone call away. You know, there's no way we could have done it without it. We chose the right direction for our company.
So the distance, me being in another country, didn't really matter at the end of the day?
Oh,
not at all.
Not a second.
Super responsive, and we always knew that you were there to help. And like you said, it's become more than just a business relationship. It's become a friendship, and we truly value that, and we know that you would never lead us in, you know, a stray direction. And
well, our agreement we aligned in the same objective. So you know, that was important to us. We both want the same thing. It's like paying a property manager a percentage bonus off of their portfolio. It stings when they lose a property. Well, is the same deal. So that's great for us, you know.
Alrighty, well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darren.
You guys are video stars.